Um, am I actually? Oh my God. I think I think I wasn't live this whole time. Oh, this blows. So I think I like didn't stream for the last hour, even though I was recording the whole time. I was wondering why no one was commenting, and there was no one was saying anything. This is rough. Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. There I am. Wow. This sucks. I was so confused, dude. What a moment. Talk about a fucking moment. Oh my god. So I wasn't live the whole time. I already read through the whole chapter. I, what the hell? I like set up music. I set up the microphone. I I wasn't live. I wasn't. Are you kidding? I wasn't live this whole time. This sucks. This sucks so much. Huh? No, I just didn't do the right thing. Yeah, so welcome for whoever's coming in now. Yeah, I already read through the chapter. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. So many mistakes were made. Um, geez, where do I even start with this? So, here, let me show you. You see this? This is my thingamajig, whatever you want to call it. There's a go live button here. I press this to go live. I thought I was live this entire time. I wasn't. I need to go to here, and you see where it says end stream? I need to press go or start what is it? It says go live here instead of end stream. So I've just been talking to myself this whole last time. There's literally no one here. I'm like, why is nobody commenting? Why is no one saying anything? Oh man, this sucks. Oh, this blows. Yeah, you stupid. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I went through this entire chapter already. I already read everything. Uh I don't even know where to start. Do you want me to just reread it again? You'll just want me to reread it again? I'm down for it. Fuck it. Okay. I get new perspective now. Wow, it looks delicious. To be honest, I've never had this before, Chinese hot pot. When I was reading this the first time, I didn't realize this was Chizuru saying this. So Kazi has already experienced this. Chizuru has not. That's kind of cool. Yeah, sure. Dot dot dot. Hey man, or girl, or someone, whoever you are. I'm doing what the best I can here. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I don't even have like my friend who speaks Japanese to translate for me today, so I don't even know what the fucking next time is. Ah, is the music good at least? Is the music at least a vibe? Oh my god. It really is two different colors. So this was interesting. This made me think of like chapter 168, I believe, or 67. Let me pull it up since since you're getting in now, we're getting into it now. Okay. Chapter 168, I think. Hey, yo, I was right. Chapter 168 would be. Would it be the first chapter? Oh my god. Reiji, please. So, chapter 168 would be the first chapter the anime starts with. How fitting is that? Yeah, that's how I found out, Cosmo. I pulled up the stream like this. I pulled it up like this, and there was nothing. And I was like, wait, what? So I was just confused, and that's how I found out that I haven't been streaming at all. Hello, Kataro. Yeah, so anyone coming in right now, just know ahead of time. I've already read the chapter. I made a mistake where I streamed without, or I didn't stream. I thought I was streaming. I made a mistake where I thought I was streaming. I was not streaming. So I've already read the entire chapter. I even made some analysis. God. Do I have any of it saved anywhere? That would be kind of nice. Videos. Nope. I got nothing. I should. I guess I should just record the. I guess I should just record whenever I stream, just in case, so that way in the future, whenever that happens, like if I didn't actually stream, it's all recorded, so I can just like post that somewhere or just have another way to go through it. I think that would make life a lot easier. Oh yeah, speaking of which, what do you guys think of the new microphone? Does my voice sound good? Okay, so where was I? I was pulling up something. So, chapter 168 is the first chapter of season 4. There's no music. I guess I'm the only one hearing music, huh? Damn. But I have it on. That's weird. So it's capturing my audio, but there's no. I'm the only one hearing the music? Damn. Well, I'll have to figure out how to set up the music for this stuff in the future. You stream check YouTube. Yeah, now I know. Yeah, we way more better. Oh, glad you like the microphone. Good to hear. Okay, so this is the chapter that this is referencing, and yippity yep, these two. Remember these two? Yeah, Kazuya sees them. They're a couple, and he gets jealous, and then he thinks, is this a problem? And then it turns out it's not a huge deal, and then Minnie shows up with her endless eight shirt, and then you have Ruka show up as a maid, and then have this, and then oh god, it's old me. Oh god, let's not see that. So next time you stream check. Yep. Okay. So let's see. We're here at the Chinese hot pot restaurant. She's probably hungry after everything we've done at Joe Post. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out when I was reading the chapter that I found super interesting. When we were going through Joy Polis, when we were sitting through Joy Polis, what Reggie did that was super interesting is he would go through each meticulous detail, and yet here it jumps straight to the hot pot place. That is like the epitome of fucking whiplash. Because suddenly the pace is completely different. We don't see them walking here. We don't see them going to anywhere or anything like that. We just literally see them already there. Here's the hot pot. Boom, good to go. Where before, you would literally go through each individual piece slowly and methodically. That was so interesting to me. I'm just like, why the fuck did he do that? Why is that sudden change of pace? One, thematically from a story perspective, they literally left the place of joy. So I think that's really interesting. So they left the thing that was the core center part of this date being Joy Polis. Now they're getting to the end of the day. Suddenly time is speeding up. It's going faster. This is super fitting considering the end of the chapter where guess what? Let's pull up Chizuru here. Chizuru says I have to decide, and there's a weird sense of hurry in this chapter. This chapter feels a little faster, and I think that's very intentional by Reiji. So the other thing too is there's a meta reason for this. The meta reason being, we as the viewers haven't had a chapter in 2 weeks. We haven't had to interact with the story in 2 weeks. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, they literally time skipped as we time skipped. I think that's really clever from Reiji's perspective, like the fact that the characters also time skipped alongside us, that they moved forward alongside us. So we had a time skip, and so did we. We didn't see what happened in that little portion where they were walking here. Maybe it wasn't interesting, maybe it was interesting, but that reflects us as the viewers. And I think that's kind of cool, like the fact that Reiji pulled that off in a way to not tell us as the viewers. It's maybe something you wouldn't appreciate if you weren't a weekly reader, I think. But for those who are, that's a cute nod, you know? So yeah, this is being a reference to these two would make us think of the few moments they've had together. And then let's see, continue where we were. Everything is going according to plan. She's drinking, but more importantly, she's drinking alcohol, beer with me. And this beer says try, like give it a try. I'm like, huh, okay, okay, okay. What are we cooking here? I read on social media that if she orders soda, then the date's already doomed. Okay, so there's already that influence of other people like telling you how to feel, you know? As long as she's capable of drinking alcohol, uh, let's see, time to eat, time to eat. The fact that she's drinking on a date to a degree, that means she's comfortable being around me, which lays into this. I'm like, ah, Kazuya, you're being a little shitty here. I see. I think I drank too much. You're staying with me tonight. I'm like, God damn, why does he look so slimy here? Kazuya, please. But I think that's the funny part of like stuff like this, where it's like it reflects Kazuya's innocence in a sense, where yeah, this isn't so fucking innocent. But what I mean by that is that Kazuya as a character is a dreamer. So whenever he has things like this, it's based off of like the dreamer element, but it's reflecting him taking advantage of her, but then he thinks it's wrong, and it's like really interesting to see that contrast. Where with Kazuya, he when he's literally with Chizuru, he's being so respectful and so kind around her, but then he imagines something like this where he's like shitty as fuck, and I think that's super interesting. These support characters appearing in the beginning of each chapter passes some ending vibe, or is it just me? You're not necessarily wrong. That is kind of an important thing here. Reishi keeps showing all the external characters, all the characters that are like living their lives outside of these characters. And one thing I really want you to pay attention to, every time Reishi shows these characters, it's always daytime and there is no rain. They're always outside and there is no rain. The only one that was like not daytime was Minnie, where it showed Minnie and it wasn't daytime, but she was outside, right? So I think Reiji isn't necessarily doing an ending vibe, but he's setting up like a future vibe, or like the idea of life, the theme of life, because you're always seeing characters living their lives. I think that's kind of important here. The characters literally living their lives. So that seems to be more of the theme rather than so much the ending, or maybe more of a conclusion would be more fitting, but not necessarily the ending of the story, you know. Trump people are watching like the stream no cure to cure brain rot. uh I definitely try not to have brain rot. Thank you. Let's see. So yeah, when I was explaining about this thing, it's like it comes off as like shitty and slimy, and that's kind of the point. But it contrasts Kazuya himself, who looks very innocent, and this is also interesting because it's framed as Chizuru is the vulnerable one, the smaller one, the one where Kazuya is the adult taking the advantage of the situation. In contrast, when you actually get into the later portion of the chapter, Chizuru is the one framed as the adult, right? Chizuru is the one framed as the mature one and the one in control, in contrast to Kazuya himself. And then you get to this cute as fuck portion where like Jesus fucking Christ, okay, and suddenly they both become kids, right? So it's almost like Reiji is like destroying these like warped fantasies, but then also showing them. It's really interesting, like what Reiji's trying to go for with something like that. This seems very like not Kazuya's character, this particular one, but it's something that reflects him wanting to be the man in the situation, but also reflects him wanting to have sex. But right, like, do you see how this is fucked up because there's no consent happening, which is very antithetical to Kazuya's character. So it doesn't feel like bad writing, but it feels like something is off about it, and that's kind of the point. Maybe it's to reflect the drinking and the losing control and shit like that. But yeah, it's meant to be a little weird and creepy, right? That's kind of the point. And it's something that like people on Twitter will take completely out of context and completely misunderstand the point of this, right? Um, no, don't be stupid. Mizuhara isn't the type to get wasted, right? And even then, like if she did get wasted, Kazuya wouldn't do anything. Like we fucking know that shit, right? She can handle her alcohol. It's good. Yeah, she drank alcohol during our rental dates. She'll drink at least once. She'll drink at least one. Damn it! Oh yeah, the curry curse. I love how curry is like so fucking stupid here. And then Chizuru drinks. She tries, I guess. She drinks the beer of trying. I can't help but get my hopes up. If you focus on your drinking rather than your word, rather than their, if you focus on their drinking rather than their words, you've gone to the dark side. So isn't that super fitting? Mr. Fish says this as Kazuya literally imagines some dark fucked up shit. Yeah, the words mirror each other. So this question was interesting. What are you gonna do after graduation? Well, this is a question about the future. They've spent most of Joy Pola's essentially kind of existing in like a bubble, if you will. So when they're in Joy Polis and they're just kind of like existing and chilling and not much is happening, it's kind of important to reflect how in that time they were like contemplating the past, contemplating the present and the future, and like kind of living. But the future is like actually being brought up here right after the machine tells them like they're made for each other and their future and all that stuff, right? So she says, "You said you were going into telecommunications before. Do you still have that same plan?" This is apparently a reference to chapter 244. I'm super happy that she remembers what we talked about online, but I guess she would be curious. Okay, so let me pull up chapter 244, where Kazi is seemingly, when they're talking over the phone, and you have like a fucking text drop. Here it is. Oh boy. Who remembers this? Who remembers me editing this? Oh my god. Okay. Uh oh, and she mentions Yoko here. Yoko is that girl that we just saw, right? So okay. So this is all a big reference to chapter 244. Your actress is like, dude, search for jobs. I'm rooting for you. Sorry, late response. You don't need to apologize. Um, Oh, this is Kazuya's. Okay. So I was thinking about it. I'm thinking about working for a while and getting some experience as an adult is important. Discussing it with family. Informatics and communications, finance. Oh, that was a typo suddenly. So yeah, communications or info communications. So yeah, it seems like that's what Kazuya was talking about here. We don't have to keep it up. You want to collect information on cows. Oh, cow meat. Okay, yeah. I do want to check the official translations. So let me pull those up. Whoop, 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 whoop. For anyone who's coming in right now, I already like read the chapter. I said this before for a few people, but I already read the chapter. Unfortunately, because I thought I was streaming, it turns out I was not streaming. Screw me, I guess. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Uh, let's see. Uh, there it is. Okay, let me pull it up. Chapter 244. What does Kazuya say here? That might reflect, that might mirror Chizuru's words more accurately, you know? Let's see. Okay, they're talking. There it is. Finance, maybe, or maybe computer related. Oops. Wow, they fuck up. They don't, they don't, can I zoom in on this? Here, give me a sec. Save image. Yeah, that'll make it easier. So, God, they fuck up. So they say finance or maybe computer, oh, cowputer related. So it is there. But that doesn't make sense because she talks about Is there something more where he says he's getting near my Yujing, so he's kind of like actors very that sounds cool. Yeah, weird. She talks about telecommunications, but huh, that's weird. Sorry, let me read what the comment said. Um, New section of the story, more like it feels like we need to have them be together for a while. The goal has always been the growth through relationships, not the cliche ending at confessions. Yeah, yeah. I mean, how many times have Kazuya confessed? Jesus Christ, how much has Kazuya fucking confessed in this story? Well, they absolutely cannot cut chapter 244 from the anime. It comes back later. Some news for people who are here. Let me pull it up. Or I guess there wasn't really much. It was a leak initially, and then um, Nau Taoyama, the voice actress for Ruka, has like a podcast or something. She was talking about it. It's like iLive or something. And she said that the season four was only the Hawaiians arc. So and there was a leak saying that the last chapter season four would be adapting chapter 231, which is, if you guys remember, is Chizuru swimming in the pool and then kissing her leg, and then saying, "I can't fall in love with a client." So it seems like, which is great, by the way. That means it's from chapter 168 to chapter 231. If this is the case for the entirety of season four, which is two cores, this is the best pacing we have literally ever had for the series in terms of the anime adaptation, period. Because season one would be like the closest to good pacing we've had, but they cut a lot and they didn't do very well some stuff. Season two is awful pacing. Season three is awful pacing. Like, there's no what ifs or buts about it. Like, I've complained about how season three has butchered Kazuya's character. With that said, this is great news. This is so far, like, initially it was just a leak, so I didn't want to fucking talk about it. But the fact that Nau essentially confirmed it on her whatever stream, whatever the heck she does, a podcast, that tells us a lot. So yeah, that's something I'm excited for in terms of season four. That it's literally gonna stop at chapter 231, which is a perfect spot to stop. Um, and then so we won't be getting chapter 244 until season 5, which we're probably going to get. Like, if they're going to adapt season 4, you can't not adapt season 5, especially where season 4 ends, right? So okay, yeah, with that said, I also don't think if I also think if they're going to pace it like that, they don't need to cut anything. In fact, they could probably adapt everything. Okay, let's see. I'm super happy that she remembers what we talked about online, but I guess she would be curious. Okay. I like how here her eyes are closed. She's seemingly hiding something. There's something more here, and that's reflected in what she says later. But then here her eyes open and they're serious. They're very focused. They're like, "What the fuck?" This reflects what Chizuru actually wants rather than the eyes closed thing. She makes it sound like a casual topic between students, but I feel like it's a part of her research. Congrats, Kazuya. You got it. Hello, Proxima. Yeah. What did you miss? I thought I was streaming and I actually read the entire chapter and even went through Reddit. So my reaction's just completely gone to the void. You will never see it again. My mistake. If I ever stream again, I'll always like press the record button too, so that way even if it doesn't get whatever I'll have some way to post it or keep it alive somehow. But yeah, it's completely gone. I don't know where the fuck it is. Yeah, I streamed for like 40, 50 minutes. Yeah, so that's all gone. So yeah, that's all you missed. So now we're just going through the chapter. I'm just talking about like the things I noticed while I was going through it. Um, yeah, I know it's rough. One thing I was thinking of doing though, do let me know right now. I was thinking while I was going through it, that I might stream either at 9 or 10, specifically because when I was going through Reddit, there wasn't nearly enough posts. And I couldn't, for example, see what my friend Verkez posted, where because he posts what the next time is. And today, unfortunately, my friend who helps me translate the Japanese is not here. He's busy. He told me ahead of time that he can't do it. So unfortunately, I don't know what the next time is. Luckily, because we're talking now, I can probably wait for Verkez and he'll most likely post his thing and we can find out at the very least what the next time is. But I bet there is text here, and I bet there's text here, and I bet there's text at the very end of the chapter. alongside that. So we won't get to know what those specifically say until another time. I'm thinking of maybe doing another stream where I talk about that and go through it. So yeah, that's kind of everything. Let me know if that sounds interesting to you. Like instead of streaming at 8 right when the chapter comes out, I stream at 9 just so we have a little bit more to work with. Because I don't mind streaming at 8. I just think we're probably not going to get nearly as much as we want. Oh, and for those who are just tuning in now, unfortunately, the chapter after this chapter, there's another break. So we won't get a chapter for another 2 week break. So I'm gonna try to do something with that this time. I've been very busy, so I haven't had time to do nearly as much as I want. But all my big tasks are almost done, so I can hopefully actually get some shit done now. Um, Anywho, where were we? Well, I'm gonna find a job. I'm looking into a different business now, and I applied for a few internships. This is interesting because it reminds me of the conversation Kazuya had with Kibe um, around chapter 314, maybe? I got it. Oh no, it might be 317 or 319. Let me check. Let me check. Okay, 317. Yeah, I don't think it's 317. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, no, a little further. 319. Yep, it's 319. I was right. I was right. Okay, so let's pull it up. 319. The next time it said one more drink. Ooh, okay. Thanks, Lawless Bacon. Okay, Zen like calm. So, how to go after that? Things going good with Chizuru's son. Or, yeah, he's his son. Yeah, of course, super good. Kibe already thinks that she's my girlfriend, so I can't tell him I asked her out on a first date. Okay, so this is the important part, but I'll do whatever it takes to make it come true. Did you sign up for summer internship? Huh? Internship? Didn't you notice on the bullet board? If you're not taking Nagomi liquors right after you graduate, then you should look for a job like all the other third years. I just realized Kazuya is in his third year. Kazuya is in his third year. He's number 3. Dude, this is so that's the other thing I want to talk about with this arc. So this date that we're currently on is the reverse of the cheer up date. The nature of the cohabitation arc is the reverse of the movie arc, right? So these two arcs are completely fundamentally reversed. And someone on Reddit was pointing out how Kazuya seemingly doesn't have a goal or like something to focus on in his life, and it's because Kazuya never really got to essentially live that. Like his family has decided everything for him, and he took this thing being to get a girlfriend and find someone to love that his family has essentially pushed on this entire expectation this whole time, and he kind of made it his own, and that's kind of the brilliance of it. He took these expectations and he formed into something that was for himself. But what was interesting about it is that it's shoot, don't lose track of your thoughts. Come on, reclaim your thoughts. Is that Kazuya still hasn't really learned to live for himself, even though this arc is about Kazuya following the goal of being with Chizuru. In contrast, you have Chizuru, who in the movie arc spent most of it chasing a goal. Now Kazuya, now in the cohabitation arc, she's been mostly living her life. And we actually get hints of Kazuya essentially kind of finding a sense of direction of where he wants to go. Ironically, again, somewhat through his family, being through the nursery arc when he goes there and he sees kids and he's like, "Oh, I want to I like kids a lot." So that reflects kind of the goal Kazuya might go towards in the future. And that also sets up for like Kazuya's struggle. The fact that Kazuya still doesn't know how to live for himself, but is kind of chasing this dream of being with Chizuru for himself, it reflects the themes of the date, which is a very selfish date in nature. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to share really quick. I wonder how old Kazuya is currently. 24. At the start of the series, he was 20, so he would be either 22 or 23. I think he's not 23 yet because he would need to it's not June yet canonically in the story, so he's 22. Currently, Kazuya is 22. He's not 23 yet. Um, and then Chizuru would be either 22 or 21 by this point in the story. She's a year younger than him. Chizuru is a year younger than him. When we started the story, she's 19, he's 20. Which is super fitting because Kazuya is seemingly the older one, yet Chizuru is presented as the more mature one. Yeah. So Kazuya says, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that right after this." Where were you really? But yeah, a job, huh? I'm in my third year. My college life is almost over. I wonder what Mizuhara is gonna do. She's probably won't look for a job, but she's still gonna graduate, which means things will be different for her. Wow, this is right after he asks her out on the date, and Kazuya is seemingly asking the same exact questions, and he even predicts the fucking situation he would be in right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. And this is what I love about this. People kept saying these things are skippable, they don't matter, stuff like that. And yet here they are, literally informing the current chapters. If you go back, they literally inform the current chapters. That's crazy. Even if the day goes well and we actually get together, everything will fall apart if I don't think of something. I have to consider the future too. Bro, bro, Reiji, Reiji, my king. Can I really be a good enough man for Mizuhara? It's strange, but right now I feel like I can do anything. Yeah, this man fucking cooked. Who cooked? Someone cooked here. I fucking love that line from Breaking Bad. Someone cooked here. Um, well, I'm gonna do a job. Okay. How long do you plan to do that? 3 years or 5 years? Huh? It's important to plan for the future, right? Your career options will change depending on if you want the experience or to achieve what just happened to achieve something. She's talking about something super serious while skimming the broth. I think this is what she's doing here. She's taking that little thing and skimming the broth. Hmm. I think that's kind of interesting. Like, there might be like a sense of symbolism there of just like Chizuru is seemingly. Let me think about it. So she's skimming the broth while talking about this serious topic. She's maybe trying to narrow down what she's talking about, just as you would skim the broth. So it literally reflects her intent, and her actions literally convey what she actually means versus her eyes, which are closed and not actually looking at Kazuya. Interesting. Yeah, the last time it was pointed out 1.5 years, so yeah, 22. She's probably stimming? Sti- it says skimming. She's skimming. There's literally a K right there. I should be the one doing it. Yeah. So I should be the one doing it. Literally, cause you were saying these exact words earlier. Um, God, what now? I haven't really put that much thought into it. I shouldn't lie. It's a bad idea to pretend. I'll just mess it up. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure. To be honest, I probably got to try it first before I know anything. I guess I'm just waiting to see how it goes. Chizuru looks at him, puts the thing back suddenly. Do you see how she puts it back with another thing? I think that's kind of interesting. There's a sudden clank, and there's like a tension suddenly, and her eyes completely open. And then she looks directly at him, very serious. I like people who properly think things through. She's essentially saying, "Ah, I like you. I'd like it more if you did that. I'd like it more if you thought this through, right?" Even though earlier we actually saw him kind of trying to think about it, right? It's not that Kazi hasn't thought about it, and this is reflective of the date itself. Kazi has put so much effort into this date. This is how I predicted this, by the way. I was reading this chapter. I literally like predicted this portion where I like thought to myself like, oh, Chizuru is like talking about how Kazuya isn't thinking things through, but then he thought this date through and he put a lot of effort into this date. And then Kazuya literally says that later. I'm like, shit, I fucking called it. And none of that is recorded. Uh Anywho, so yeah. So she says, I like people who think things through. So, again, the sudden stun moment that Kazuya is keeps getting fucking hit with that sudden whiplash, you know. Duh. Huh? Oh, did I just lose points? It's not like I haven't put any thought into it. It's true. If you go back to that chapter, it informs the fact that Kazuya has, in fact, put thoughts into it. This is what I mean about earning progression. I don't know if I ever said that. So, people oftentimes with storytelling focus a lot on progression, right? Just progression happening. But in reality, what you should really focus on, in my opinion, is earning your progression, right? Don't just put progression there for the sake of progression and have it feel contrived. Rather, you need to earn that progression. And I think Reiji does a fantastic job of earning the progression. Like, this is a great example of that, where maybe you didn't think about that, but if you had gone back, it might have actually worked better. It would have clicked with you better. You're like, oh shit. So, and I thought of this, right? Like having read the chapters and analyzed them myself, that clicked to me. That came back to me. So I think stuff like that, that's kind of important. This is why rereading the story and paying attention to when you're reading it really rewards you. Okay. It's not like I haven't put any thought into it. I screwed up. Mizuhara has always been so sincere. Does she think I'm reckless and not thinking long term? Right. And us seeing how Kazuya has thought about this. Like, for instance, if you go back to when he's planning for the date, do you guys remember how when he was planning for the date, Kazuya actually there was something like literally symbolic of him planning for the future, and it was when he replaced his shoes. He had these shoes from the movie arc. Let me pull it up. He had these like shoes from what chapter is it? It's like chapter 330 maybe. Oh wow, was I dead on? I was dead on. It was literally chapter 330, bro. So Kazuya goes to the shoe store, and you're probably wondering to yourself, what the fuck did the shoe store? How's that any relevant to this? Kazuya goes to the shoe store, and he sees these shoes that don't actually cost $506. It was like more like 300 something bucks. Um, and when he is buying the shoes, he looks back at these old shoes that he's had since the movie arc. I've worn a hole right through the soil. Well, I'm not too surprised, but I bought these before the film shoot because they were easy to move around in. The film shoot was fun. It was a lot of hard work, but every day was eventful. At the time, things were frantic with Sayuri-san, but I got closer to Mizuhara thanks to the time we spent together back then. Still, to think that going on a date with her a year later, I never saw that one coming. Looks at the shoes. But as a man who can. Okay, let's read the whole thing. No, no, no. Why am I getting emotional in a shoe store? I've got to get my head screwed on straight. The sales lady will be back any minute. This is my chance, though. I'll pull this off today. I'll pull off this date and be a man good enough for Mizuhara, not as a client or a producer, but as a man who can support her now and in the future. And then he has these new shoes that are very expensive. It's supposed to rain on the date. I actually might be able to wear these after all. Shoes designed for the rain. Shoes that, if he takes care of them, will last a lifetime. I think Kazuya says this. She often a big role in the rest of your outfit, right? So she tells him that. Where's the part where he says like he says something where like if he takes care of these shoes, they'll literally last a lifetime, and that's reflective of his literal commitment. So I think that's kind of important. I really wanted to point that out that like Kazuya is thinking about the future. Kazuya has spent most of the arc right after asking Chizuru planning for the future and planning to be someone who can support Chizuru and be there for her. Literally matching the words she fucking says to him. He's literally trying to be a good partner for life, not just a husband, right? Uh, let's see. Cosmo says skimming the broth equals thinking or skimming of the finer details or acting casually to not put pressure. She might be aware of her intensity. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right. That's a good analysis. She's trimming it down so it's not as intense. Cool. Okay, I'll give you that. That's a good analysis. Good job. See, this is nice. This is nice. We should do this more. So yeah, that's very fitting considering when she talks later, it's so intense. Kazuya's like, just like fucking explodes a little. I exploded a little while reading. I'm like, God damn, Reishi, what the fuck? Okay. So that I could give her, okay, damn it, I really wish that I put more thought into it so that I could give her a better answer about it. But then he acts sincerely. Sorry, I know I should be pouring more thought into this kind of stuff. It's just I had nothing else on my mind except for preparing for today. Be- Being busy isn't a good excuse. Hardships makes the man. This had me a little curious. I wonder if there's a Japanese phrase here that is probably a reference to something. Probably Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Wouldn't be fucking shocking. Chizuru's a Chinese buff. As they say, you need to put your best effort into both romance and your work. So that's pretty interesting, right? Like it's like, oh, okay, so Chizuru's putting him to a certain standard. You're right. Yeah, she's always so sensible. What should I do if she thinks I'm an idiot? Suddenly, Kazi is a little depressed. He puts his hand on his face. Like she burned him out. Then you get the don't get the wrong idea. The classic Chizuru. Don't get the wrong idea, right? Isn't it interesting how do you remember the beginning of the series where she would say, "Don't get the wrong idea. Don't get the wrong idea" every time she's trying to convey something where it's like, "Oh no, this isn't actually what I meant. I'm not being emotional there." It's the play on the tsundere element. It's fucking with that element. It's saying that element is dumb, reversing the fundamental nature of it. And now every time Chizuru says, "Don't get the wrong idea," she's literally saying the actual thing she's feeling instead of the false thing that she's saying initially. It's a reversal. Rather than initially saying something emotional and meaningful and then just saying, "Oh no, that's not what I actually meant," right? This is the reverse. She says something that is like very sensible, very realistic, very like judgy in some ways, and then flips it on its head. Now it's super emotional. It's a very fundamental reverse of a tsundere. It's literally breaking down the fundamental rule of being a tsundere. It's breaking Chizuru out of the tsundere role that she was never truly in, but she acted on when she was in rental around Kazuya. It's not like I'm against her or anything. Not everything goes according to plan in life, but that doesn't mean it's not okay to have one, right? Okay, see, it's about striking a balance. That's why if we're together, I'd like to know what you'll be doing in 3 or 5 years. Where will we be? Where will we be in 3, 5 years? Where will we be in the future? It's literally wanting a sense of assurance in a sense, but she also wants to assure, right? So she wants assurance for herself, but she wants to assure Kazuya as well. It's reflective of Chizuru lacking in assurance about herself and what she herself wants, and she wants to give that to Kazuya because she feels she doesn't have it, right? It's reflective of how complicated Chizuru is. Someone on Reddit earlier was saying that the whole thing with Chizuru right now is that, oh, it's just her planning for the future. It's not really about her love, when in reality that lack of certainty reflects her own struggle, how she doesn't actually understand herself, and so she tries to find assurance in other things around her, right? She tries to find assurance in these other aspects around her because she fundamentally does not understand her love. Chizuru is a really good fucking character, okay? She's written so fucking well, holy shit. But so is Kazuya. Kazuya's written well too. But you get my point. Like the focus here is Chizuru. That's why if we're together, I'd like to know what you'll be doing in 3 or 5 years. Will you be moving for work? How much time will you have off? What kind of company will you work in? Right? It seems clingy, but again, it's almost like a child searching for assurance. But also, as she searches for that assurance, it flips. What makes you stressed? How can I support you? How often can we see each other? What kind of life will we have? Now she wants to assure him, right? It went from searching for assurance to assuring him. Oh my god, and this shit just puts the cup in front of her to hide her fucking face, girl. I mean, I would be your girlfriend, right? Just fucking dies. Fucking dies. Like, damn. The way he shades Kazuya, the emphasis on Kazuya being in shadows and Chizuru in light, the framing of her being in front of him. This shot reminds me so much of Paradise. Also, for those who don't remember, they went drinking on 2 different occasions, and both of them were pretty similar to this. Where the first one was chapter 173, where they went to drinking, and Chizuru asks Kazuya, "Do you love me?" And then the other time was the thing that started this arc, the cohabitation arc, which is when him, Minnie, and Chizuru went drinking, and guess what? Chizuru chugs the beer, and she challenges Kazuya about like what was it? She's like, "Oh no, I actually like do have feelings and shit like that. Like I actually do care about this," and she freaks out. But she's very confrontational. Here, the imagery is so fucking good. She's hiding up the literal part of her face with something that is white, and then the other half is black or dark. Yin and yang. This man is crazy. This man is fucking crazy. What the fuck? What the fuck? This dude is crazy. She's literally showing her whichever one's the black one, the yang, the yin and yang. I guess she's showing her yang literally hiding in front of her yin, which is the white highball. Which, by the way, when Kazuya, Mini, and Chizuru went drinking, Chizuru drank a highball. Yeah, she seems to really like this fucking drink. And then God, look at Kazuya, like just dies. And then suddenly you go from this where she's hidden and it's cute as fuck and it's fucking divine and destructive beyond belief to, oh, good to go. Yep, I'm all great now. Just casually drinking, just sipping, eyes closed again, right? Her eyes open in the shadows, her eyes close in the light. Go. Just, she's so cute, I'm gonna die. I fucking love Kazuya, dude. That's so funny. And then in the bathroom, this shit was so funny on my first read. What is he doing? Is he like fucking doing capoeira on the fucking toilet with his ass? What the fuck? Kazi has an Eddie Main confirmed. Okay, okay. The moment she tells him no excuses, she stops skimming and points her stick at him. Then goes back to regulating and says, "Don't get the wrong idea. Definitely about intensity." Ooh. Ooh, let's see that. Let's pull that up. Okay. Um Skimming. Well, she put it away. She put it away. No. No, 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 no. So this is actually unfortunately somewhat incorrect. She literally puts it away and now faces it head on instead, right? So she was skimming the intensity initially, which I will agree with, but then when she puts it down, then suddenly she's very intense, right? She doesn't realize she stopped tempering herself and she went full destructive mode, right? To the point that we see the negative and the positive of it, right? It reflects Chizuru's character where because she's no longer tempered, we see the negative side of it where she overwhelms Kazuya to the point where he puts his hand over his face. But then on the other hand, we see the cute, adorable side. It's almost saying like Chizuru needs to stop restricting herself. That's kind of it. Like she literally needs to stop skimming and just go full throttle, go fucking ballistic. It seems like that's kind of what that scene is meant to convey. So I kind of somewhat disagree there. Uh, Chizuru had so hard a life that explains why she's so thoughtful about the aspects of life. Yeah, yeah, and that's actually reflective of the very job that she works. Chizuru works a job where there's a lot of negativity. It's fundamentally like has a negative element to it that she herself is very clearly aware of. Go back to the last stream, I talk about this. But Chizuru is also someone who appreciates people and cares for people, and she tries to focus on the positive of her job, despite the negative elements present in it. For that exact reason, she sees Kazuya and she sees his struggle and she doesn't judge him for the worst of his character. You see that to its absolute extreme in the Paradise arc, where even at like the lowest of the situation, she tries not to see the worst in Mommy's character, right? Like Mommy is literally straight up blackmailing her. Chizuru knows she's blackmailing her, and she's trying to see the best in Mommy's character. Maybe because in some way deep down she knows Mommy is kind of a reflection of her, and she doesn't want to view Mommy badly because she doesn't want to view herself badly. She doesn't want to view what she's doing badly. There's layers to the Mommy situation, but the whole point I was trying to get at here is that Chizuru very much cares for people and tries to appreciate them and tries to see the best in people because she herself has experienced so much and she's seen so much bad shit, right? And I think too many people kind of miss that. It's not so different from Kazuya. Kazuya um, finds his worth through other people because for most of his life he hasn't had like much worth outside because of himself, right? But for that exact reason, he appreciates people and he tries to always make them happy, not just because for himself, because that's how he finds this sense of value, but because he's been hurt so much too. These characters are mirrors of each other. That's exactly the point. Let's see. So Kazuya's in the fucking bathroom with all these mixed signals. I feel like my head's gonna fucking explode. She really is like an attraction. Right? You're literally having an experience, an actual attraction. Kazuya says Chizuru was the attraction all along last chapter, and here she is, and here he is saying she's literally a fucking attraction. I'm literally having ups and downs. I'm like going through. We're going from we're so fucking back to oh we're so fucking done, or I forgot what the joke. I forgot the meme is. Um, God, I thought it was oh, it's so over, we're so back. It's so over, we're so back. That's the thing, right? So we're experiencing the whiplash alongside him. I thought it was over at one point. Don't try this at home. How am I supposed to feel about all this? Spins with his ass on the fucking toilet. But then 10 seconds later, she's talking as if she'll be my girlfriend. The emotional roller coaster is never ending. But 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 things seem good. Things seem good. I like how he has to reassure himself. She wasn't blushing just because of the alcohol, right? You definitely want to make time to talk with her. Okay, that line's important. That comes back. I've made time to go to the beach after this. So when I first read this, I'm like, the beach? What the fuck's he talking about? But I did remember that like Odaiba is a beach city. And so the spot Sumi and Kazuya were at in chapter like 90 or something, which is where they're going, was technically a beach. Where the ferry was, that's technically a beach. So yes, he's right. Like I was, but and then I thought about it more. I'm like, that's super fitting. Almost every big moment in their lives evolved around beaches and summer. So the first beach trip they go on is where they first kiss, right? And then that's when Kazuya first finds out he loves Chizuru. That's the moment that's directly referenced here with Mami. So almost as if to tell you this is the reverse, where Chizuru's going to find out her feelings. Right, and then you have uh, the Paradise arc, which is a nod to that, where it's somewhere in the middle between the two, where it's not actually the beach; it's a fake beach, but it's a huge big moment in the relationship where Chizuru kisses Kazuya, but because of outside external forces, mirroring how in that one he was literally dying, and mirroring how in the beach trip Kazuya was literally dying and she needed to give him CPR. And then here, I feel like this is going to be the reverse of all that, willingly kissing each other. Maybe both of them kissing each other, or maybe Kazuya kissing her rather than Chizuru kissing him, since most of this has been Chizuru kissing Kazuya in those scenes. So, you know, and it would be the fourth kiss. Interestingly, this would be the fourth kiss they would have. You would think it would be the third. No, because the first kiss was on the beach, kiss CPR, whatever. You get my point. The second kiss was the first one in Hawaiians, but then Chizuru actually doubles down and kisses him again. So he actually already had three kisses. So this would be the fourth kiss, which is Chizuru's number, right? So it'd be super interesting if Kazuya kisses her this time. It feels like that's what we should kind of building up to. So yeah, another important moment at the beach. But I don't know if the rain stopped. We saw the rain earlier, and we see the rain in the end of this panel as well to reflect how we didn't see it walking into this. Interestingly, like we didn't see the rain at all walking into the chapter, and the rain's almost in the background as matching how the situation is kind of like this thing in the background where you kind of wanted to go away so you can deal with the problem right in front of you. So that's super fitting, right? That's super fitting that like they have the rain just literally in the background. You're like, please go away. Let me do the fucking thing I want to do, but you don't know. So I think that's kind of the thing with the rain too. Is like, okay, we need this thing that's out of our control to go away, so we can do the thing that we want to do. I asked how long Mizuhara can stay. I haven't asked how long Mizuhara can stay out either. It's possible that we might have that conversation inside the restaurant. I only have reservation here until 9. Number of pain. Okay. So so what Reishi's setting up seemingly with Kazuya pointing this out is that one, sex, because I've got to ask her. I need to ask if she has plans for tomorrow. Stay the night. Yeah. The biggest I love you of the year. Like, do you have an early morning? Right. So spending the time together. And Reiji has actually actively shown and foreshadowed sex. In fact, this is actually something that was present in the cover of this chapter, and we literally didn't know these two have had sex. In fact, they talked about it. They literally talked about it. They fucking banged. So Reiji was literally already telling us about these two with the whole element of sex. Oh my god, he shows a fucking roller coaster in the background. And what does Kazuya say about Chizuru in this chapter? She's a fucking roller coaster. She's an attraction. Bro. Bro. and then she's his girlfriend acting like his girlfriend, and then the Chizuru says, "What if I'm your girlfriend?" And then she shows her friend, and now she's acting like her friend. Reiji is cooking, bro. What the fuck? Oh yeah, the chat's over here. By the way, that's why I always look here. Maybe I should move it. Maybe I should move it. Let's move it here. Yeah, there we go. So that way I technically look like I'm looking at you now. Okay. Um, yeah, people often write them off for being stupid, but in most cases it's just their idealism or low self worth shooting them in the foot. K manga doesn't give the 2-page spread justice. Yoko and Sasano. Um, what do you mean? What's wrong with the 2-page spread in K manga? Oh, okay. Here, let me pull up the Japanese one. We can just literally get it. Like there's no issues there. Okay. Buy it. Why aren't you buying it? Buy it. Ooh, so there's a pun here. I can already tell. There are words mirroring each other here. There's this. Okay, what's wrong with the 2-page spread? Ah, you mean the font work? Yes, the font work for K manga has always been bad. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm not gonna fucking excuse it. Their translation work is good, but their font work is garbage. Just saying, it is. This font work, Jesus Christ, it's so much better. There's so much more emphasis. It's so much better conveyed. The wait, does she do that? Does she do that? She doesn't do the fucking quotation marks. It says girlfriend here in quotation marks. Bro, why didn't they put in the quotation marks? Fuck you. Goddamn cowards. The I love you is in English. The I love you is in English. That's so good. Okay. So let's go back to our original situation. Yeah, their name are Yoko and Sasano. And they call him Sasapai because senpai, Sasapai, you get it. Okay. So where were we? Oh, yeah. Kazuya was spinning in the bathroom like he's a capoeira player. Let's see. I've got to ask her. I need to ask her. Dude, there's so much more emphasis. Oh my God, Wise. Come on, come on, come on. They could have kept it. I'm just saying, look, the I love you of the year. Look how they do it here. They could have just kept it. This is perfect. They could have kept that perfectly as it is. They didn't need to fucking change that. The quotation marks or the lack of it makes the context differ greatly. Yeah, not greatly, but it does lose some important context. You're not wrong. This is something I'll have to ask some Japanese friends and talk about with them to get some clarity on why they fucking do that shit. Because that is one issue I have with K manga. Their translations are good. They're not great. They're good. The reason I say this is because sometimes there's nuance. There's some very intentional nuance in Reiji's writing, and they kind of remove that in favor of being more direct, which is very unfortunate because it loses a lot of the meaning of what Reiji's trying to say sometimes. A great example is when Chizuru and Kazuya were talking about Ruka and cheating. When they were talking about cheating, Chizuru frames her entire argument of cheating around feelings. She thinks if the feelings are the things that are hurt, then it's like, or the feelings are the things that are betrayed, then that's what constitutes cheating. Whereas Kazuya looks at it more from a physical sense. The ratio was trying to convey that the answer was in between the two. However, this is what's interesting here. When Chizuru points out that Kazuya broke up with Ruka, she says in Japanese, "Thank you for making me feel that you're serious." In English, they translate it to "Thank you for making me see that you're serious." Do you see the problem? The problem is that it loses the context of Chizuru's argument and her understanding of what cheating is, which is framed around feelings, not her literally seeing it, right? If anything, they actually bastardize the meaning without meaning to. Their translation is not wrong, but But if they just changed it to feeling, thematically for Chizuru's conflict, it works better, right? It just, yeah, they just ruined the meaning without meaning to. They fucked it up. Uh, Makes the Japanese text literally lost in translation. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know why they changed this. This is great. This is fucking hilarious. They should have kept this. Right? They like the "I love you" hovering there. Why'd they fucking edit that out? And you can tell it's like a rushed edit. It doesn't even look good. Like, damn. Okay. I need to ask her if she has plans for tomorrow. Right. And then he imagines the negative outcome. We're going home after we eat. That'll be 24,000 yen. Sorry, tomorrow morning I have another private date. I have another private date lined up already. Go, go. Can I bring it up to ask that question? It's not 24. It's probably like 100 something. It's not 24 USD. Fuck off, dude. I know we got tariffs, but fuck off. Okay. Then we have Chizuru sitting alone. You don't see her eyes. She grabs a drink. She chugs it. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Slams it down. Very serious. I have to decide tomorrow. I have to decide. What does this look like? Liquid courage. It's liquid courage. She's drinking to get some liquid fucking courage. She wants to like get this shit done, and that's why she drinks like that. It reflects her tension, her fears, and the fact that she thinks she really needs to make a decision. The next time being one more drink is interesting because that means wait, that's exactly what she does in both times they go drinking. Interesting. That's exactly what she does both other times they go drinking. She grabs another drink and to keep going. Interesting. So yeah, it seems like Chizuru is trying to get a little up and going. What if Chizuru gets wasted? Because Kazuya did say that, but that would be kind of like, I guess it would match the confession thing. What if she tries to kiss him again after getting wasted? This chapter's 2 weeks away. Why am I fucking predicting this already? Fuck you, Reiji, for trying to make me fucking fuck you. I want to predict it already. But yeah, that element of needing to decide is kind of important here. Just as Chizuru is struggling to decide, so is Kazuya struggling to decide to make a choice here, and he's afraid like it won't work out. And I think that's kind of interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where where they hit each other. Oh my god, not what I meant, but you get my point. Let's see. Staccato above dots on the page are rarely translated. It is syllable splitting for emphasis. Oh, do you mean these? Is this what you mean? Is it showing on my page? I hope it's showing. Yeah, do you mean, is this what you're referring to? Do you mean these? Where to translate the emphasis? Because these are not translated either. Um, you've gone past the page now though. One more drink. We're going into CSR 2.0. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. In CSR, she gets 2 drinks and she eats cake. No? What are you referring to then? What page is it on, Cosmo? What are you referring to? Oh, do you mean this maybe? Is this what you're talking about? This thing? Damn. Maybe I gotta change the latency. I put it to low latency, so you should see stuff quicker, but what can you do? What can you do? Okay. I guess for now, let's go back to Reddit, see if there's been any new posts. Nothing. I've already read most of these. Oh my God, Chizuru pulled a Sumi here. Oh yeah, one more, one more to the left. Okay. Where am I looking? Or did you not want me to change the page? Ah, okay, okay. Maybe just send it to me later or something. For now, let's just keep going. So Chizuru pulled a Sumi moment here, so fucking adorable. She really wants to be with Kazuya. Yeah, it's very Sumi like, and I think that's kind of the point because the Sumi and Chizuru have been like mirrors a lot in this arc, and that's very intentional. Serious version, nowhere environment with things go calm and more chance close interactions between Kazi and Chizuru. Again, Chizuru asking Kazi, asking questions that sound like a job interview, though really the past chapters it actually feels more like a marriage interview. That's not the job interview is a misdirect, and it's not a marriage interview. It's more of a partner for life interview. Honestly, I doubt either or both of them get drunk at this dinner. It's still daylight, and who really gets that drunk early with important days? Yeah, challenge accepted. Apparently, challenge accepted. Apparently, they're still here for a while. So, um, let's see. Oh yeah, this is the one I read earlier. He says we obviously. Okay, the Chizuru research is obviously more about seeing if they could realistically pull off their relationship rather than what is love. I disagreed with this. I don't think this is accurate. This is actually more that's more of a disguise, right? That's more of a guise for the actual conflict, which is in fact what is love, right? It frames basically this person is too busy looking at it realistically to realize what is actually being said because that's exactly how Chizuru is thinking about it. Chizuru is so busy thinking about it realistically, she's missing the irrational portion of her mind and what she's thinking to understand what she's actually going through, which is the exact problem here. If you look at it with a rational mentality to try and rationalize what you're going through, you won't understand what you're struggling through, which is the exact mistake this person is making, in my opinion. I really like how their discussion was written. Sister and Kazi already talked about this topic, and while they got the manga got deeper into it this time. What's interesting to me was the misunderstanding. Kazuya thought he made a mistake when Chizuru was complimenting him and pointing out things. He didn't. Well, no. I, he did make a mistake, quote unquote, especially how she framed it. As I was explaining, the intensity of the yin and yang really kicked into gear when we saw how Chizuru, when she put the thing out, she stopped skimming, she got serious. Kazuya did make a mistake in her eyes, and then she said it wasn't a mistake afterwards. It felt like fucking whiplash. That was the point. Obviously, the best part was another explicit, not explicit confession. She's getting closer and closer, and I'm loving it. Still funny. Chizuru thinks she needs to decide what to do when it happened a while ago, and there's nothing she can do about it. But that's the thing. It's about control. It's about control. Uh, what is this? Another beautiful but decent, beautiful decent chapter. We see Kazuya. Okay, the fucking marriage. There we go. First impressions. Title page of Shizuru's friend Yoko Shimbo and Kazuya's friend Takashi Sasuno. They started dating last year after the drinking party. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. He's fucking right. I forgot about that. Fuck. Chizuru wants to know everything about Kazuya, or she would want to know all that stuff if there was his girlfriend. Then the last teaser in the sentences, at that time, I'd be your girlfriend. At that time. Oh yeah, at that time. That was the teaser for this chapter. I forgot because it's been 2 fucking weeks. Oh, is that how it's read in Japanese? At that time, I'd be your girlfriend. Oh, that makes sense. And finally, please don't drink too much, both of you. It would be so sad. It'd be so sad if they could excuse whatever happens next with how drunk they were. Yeah, that would suck. It doesn't look good for that though, since the teaser for next time is one more drink. Everyone in the thread is so optimistic, but Reggie has thrown a wrench in the works a few times to drive melodrama. Hopefully, we get a good outcome in the end of the day. Okay, but I feel like you're missing so many key details of why those things happened in the first place. They didn't just throw them in there for melodrama. In fact, most of the story isn't melodrama. It's actually proper drama, like proper drama conflict. If anything, it challenges what a melodrama is, because melodrama is literally just all about emotion, right? It's just about eliciting an emotion from a viewer. It's not actually the whole point of saying something is a melodrama is that it doesn't have good writing. It's literally just there to elicit an emotion from you. This, in contrast, is literally about the emotion. It's written around the emotion. Therefore, it's actually a well-written drama. That's a that's a poor argument. And if anything, those wrenches that were thrown into the works happened specifically because of the characters' choices, not just because they were there. It's because they refused to confront aspects of themselves, and those aspects literally manifested in those exterior forces. That was the point. It wasn't bad writing. Granted, he didn't say it was bad writing. He just said he threw a wrench to create melodrama, which indicates bad writing. Um, could be the wrench that drives misunderstanding at the end of the setup. I think it either they might just get into a fight, but yeah, whatever. Anyways, sweet, not too much there. This spread was absolutely fucking peak. Wait, two wild panels of rain still falling strong appeared. We can't go ahead of ourselves yet because the rain hasn't stopped yet. Yeah. I know Puzzlehead. I think Puzzlehead is Lawless Bacon. I originally thought that this chapter was implying that Chizuru and Kazuya were going to separate after the day to work on themselves, but reading the actual chapter is more Chizuru imploring Kazuya to think about his future and what he wants. I'm glad it didn't leave on too big a cliffhanger, especially since it's Golden Week. Chizuru hiding her face with the glass was fucking adorable. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this was the first chapter in the day arc that didn't pan over to the rain. It did it twice. It literally did it twice. Um, one more drink. We're going to see this. No more. Okay, so what is that? The third panel. I have a feeling that Nagomi will pass before the end of the series. I feel like Nagomi might live, and I think thematically that's perfect. I think Nagomi living longer than she thinks she will live is thematically perfect for her character, because from the very beginning of the series, she kept thinking she was gonna fucking die, and she didn't. And she kept persevering and she kept going. And I think that would be super fitting because Nagomi is Chizuru's new grandmother. So Nagomi living is her living for Sayuri. Nagomi choosing to live and to not die and to keep going is thematically fitting for her character and the conflict of her character, which is someone who essentially wants everyone allowed her to live a happy life. And she's trying to force this happy life onto them, but she herself thinks she's dying, and she's essentially depressed constantly. So Nagomi living feels to me more thematically fitting because that fits in line with this arc itself. I see. They are the replace the kanji clarifying text so it's like the vertical equivalent of an E in English with dots. Okay, so oh, this thing, right? Is this what you meant? I could be wrong. Maybe they're referring to. They said the third panel, 1, 2, 3. Here. Oh, okay. This. What is this? Yeah, what is this? What's not being translated here? What does Kazuya say here? Um, but things seem good. Things seem good. Yeah. So what's actually being said here? What's Kazuya missing here, or what's not being translated here? Hmm? Oh yeah, and then they have these dots in between them. Wonder what do these dots mean? Okay. So yeah, man, this feels more like an interrogation than Dave and Kazuya admit the just mixing it so confusing. No, that's not necessarily what's happening. Let me check Twitter. Gotta be careful because Twitter will randomly pull shit up that I don't want pulled up. Oh yeah. I'm already getting flashed. God, I'm so behind on the Shunji family too. I haven't been able to catch up on any of the Shunji stuff. Hmm. Okay, there's nothing on Twitter that caught my attention. Okay, and Cosmo doesn't seem like he has much else to say. Okay, so yeah, anything else, fellas? Anything else we want to talk about? This, how long is the stream so far? Not bad. Hey, I got to record an hour of content despite the fact that like I already read through the chapter, I already went through a lot. So yeah, one more drink is next time. I plan to do a second video on this where maybe I can maybe a second stream. I also want to talk about the Shinji family. The reason I haven't been uploading anything in this entire time is because I've been very busy with my full-time job, as well as having a video I'm editing for someone else. Where I'm editing a video about Bakugan for someone, and it's been a little difficult, going to work, coming home, trying to work on that video. And then I also like I have to wake up super early for my job. I wake up at like 6 in the morning for my job. That's why I'm able to be here right now and like not be fucking tired because I've gotten used to waking up super early. And so I get off my job and then I get working on video editing, but sometimes I'm too tired, so I can't. So that's the thing I've been working on this entire time. I'm getting pretty far into finishing the video. I believe it's almost done soon. And so once it's done, I'll get back to uploading stuff for this channel. I've also been in the background writing some stuff for the hate video that I've mentioned a few times. Speaking of which, I mentioned in my very first stream, my test stream, that I wanted to maybe sit through these videos, like maybe two at a time, like 1 to 2 at a time in a day, and then just like critique them and take points and write them down. Would you guys want me to like sit through those with you? Would that make it easier? Would that make it easier to watch it with you guys? So maybe you can catch things that I didn't catch, and we can talk about it more comfortably that way. Again, I have an entire playlist of videos of hate that like really fucking pissed me off, and like I want to take notes on those and include those in the hate video I want to make. So would that sound interesting to you guys? As well as I also want to stream my reaction to the Shunji family anime, where I'll have it in the background and I'll tell you a timer. I'll give you like a timer so you can start with me. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, go, and then I'll press the play button. And then there won't be any footage or any sound. It'll just be me watching and interacting with it. Speaking of which, I will have to check how to have sound on here because apparently there was no music earlier. So yeah, I have to see how to make sound work. Here, might as well check it now. So I was listening to Final Fantasy music earlier. Can you guys like hear any of this? Like it says it's capturing the audio, but let's see. Mic, headset. Yeah, so I can mute it from here. There's no sound, really. But why? That's strange. Why is there no sound? File, settings, output. Oh. Huh. How about now? this shit a fucking vibe? Okay, good. We figured out the sound issue. That was easy. I was expecting a much worse problem. This is much easier. Hell yeah. Cool. Okay, so what do you guys think of like all the stuff I mentioned earlier? Did that sound interesting? Like sitting through the Shunergy family, watching those hate videos, going through that stuff, and you guys can like share what you're thinking with me. And then we'll try to limit it to like 2 videos, so we don't get like overwhelmed, because that shit is. I'm good, thanks. I don't want to feel like shit sitting through that crap. But yeah, if those sound interesting to you, I'm down to do that. I feel like it would be easier on me too, sitting and watching it with you guys. We could also watch through the anime. I could just watch through the anime rather than upload it onto Patreon. Although I probably could right after. But yeah, that's something I'd like to do as well. So we do have a lot of options for streaming outside of just chapters, right? Granted, I do, and those could help me like write my scripts, and I also work on like some other things in the background. So I'd probably stream for like maybe an hour, 2 hours, just us sitting through some of this stuff, watching it. Oh yeah, can you hear me fine, or is it too loud? That's another thing. Can you hear me fine? Yeah, thought so. Okay, how about now? Is the sound good now? I lowered the volume. Is it better now? Sweet. Okay. Yeah, that's all I need to know. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it when you guys let me know. It really helps me like keep track of things. But yeah. No one's responding to anything I'm asking. So let me know. Is any of these ideas good? I don't know. Epic. Someone on Discord is just Chizuru hiding her face behind the cup. Epic. Oh yeah, one thing I did want to point out about the chapter. This is gonna sound dumb as shit. Where is it? There it is. One thing Reiji has been doing a lot in the chapters is like showing sexual things on purpose to nod to the element of sex, and this kind of looks sexual. I know you're probably like, what the fuck, you're just kind of looking for stuff, but like the emphasis on her fingers, the way it's hidden, her cute face, her cute expression, and the way she's holding the cup and how within the cup, you're trying to understand what I'm trying to say, right? So that seems like kind of a nod to that, and I feel like people on Twitter will definitely take that out of context and be fucking weird about it, because they always are. Who are we kidding? But yeah, this seems really interesting as a contrast to like the element of sex that Reishi keeps intentionally bringing up in the fucking toilet paper. Just the fucking toilet paper right away. Oh my god. And this, oh yeah, I didn't even mention Kazuya in the bathroom with his pants goddamn down. He's just sitting in the bathroom, his fucking pants are goddamn down, he's losing his shit, and he's like hidden in shadow. That's so interesting. Chizuru was, throughout most of the chapter, Kazuya is in light and Chizuru is in shadow, and then here he is in shadow, and then the chapter ends with Chizuru being lit up. Huh. Roles got reversed. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been recording a while. I don't think there's too much else I gotta say. For now, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna work on oh, GTA had a new trailer, I guess. That's funny. I'm gonna work on that video I mentioned earlier for that client of mine for Bakugan. Which, by the way, Bakugan is pretty good. But like, I didn't realize how much the English dub bastardized the shit out of the script until I like started watching the Japanese. I'm like, what the fuck? That's fucked up. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to rant about that. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on finishing that. Once that's done, then I'll get back to the usual. As for Patreon, I'll have to figure out what to place on there. In the meantime, not sure. Maybe I can make a sequel video to the anime videos and place them on Patreon, but I don't know. That doesn't feel like a good idea. I guess the one thing I can keep going is sharing like the stuff I got. So So cool things I got the other day. I got they were handing out these posters in Tokyo, and I got one of them. I got one of these posters in Tokyo. I'm not in Tokyo, by the way. I live in the U.S. But there's a website I go to called Mercari or something like that, and it's their version of eBay essentially. And I got these before like the tariffs went fucking stupid. So right now I'm not buying anything from there because I don't want to risk it. Like I don't want to order something and suddenly be hit with just like a massive fucking bill, and I can't fucking afford that shit. So I don't want to do that. But I got some stuff like this, when it was still easy to get. I also got these are boxes. These are like boxes that I can make, and I can probably put the manga in. That's cool. And this bad boy right here. And finally, one last thing I did order recently is that Reiji was selling official merch on like Pixiv something, Pixiv Gallery or something like that. It was from his Comiket thing that he went to because he sells stuff there. And what was cool is that he sold some stuff that I could buy through something called World Shopping or something like that, and they would send it to me. So they like purchase it, they send it to their they send it to their, what is it, the place that holds the stuff for you, and then they would send it, and then I would pay for the shipping, and they would send it to me. So that stuff got shipped to me too. It should arrive hopefully soon, not sure when. The Shiunji family also had something where, here, let me open this. They had this thing where for every volume you buy or something, you get like a card of the characters signed by Reiji. And I found this person selling all the cards for like $10 on that site I mentioned. So I can pull it up pretty short. Just let me open this thing, Jesus. Ah! And I ripped the paper. Oh well. I guess it's... So yeah, here's Siha, Arata, and his brother Shion. There is Kotno. There is Aoka. Minami, my favorite. I love Minami. And the Banri. We're all Banri fans here. And yeah, that's everyone. I gotta get this a new thing to place it, and I ripped the paper like a dumbass. Oh yeah, this was also official merch, I believe Reiji made. So this is stuff I got as well. I think these are like folders. I'm not gonna do it for anything, you can. So there's this image, you'll remember this from the chapters. Mini volume cover. Mommy volume cover. Chizuru volume cover. Ruka volume cover. Sumi volume cover. Ooh, this one. Ooh, I always like this one a lot. Yeah, this was from the chapter cover. Ooh, this one is great. This was from the contest where Chizuru won, and like I think Sumi was like second, and then what's her name? Ruka was like third. Yeah, Ruka is very popular in Japan. For those who don't know, Ruka is extremely popular in Japan. She's very beloved. I think it's in part has to do with the anime, where the anime like gives all the best animation to Ruka for some weird fucking reason. Like they stand the shit out of Ruka. I also got this. This is they sold these with the volumes. I got a lot of stuff. I didn't get these all right away all together, by the way. Like I got these over like a few months, where I would slowly buy each one individually, and then I would they hold it for you for like a month, and basically you can slowly ship each one over that month. So that's what I did. I just bought a bunch of stuff and I slowly shipped them over. I think the only thing I like low-key regret right now is that I never got to finish my collection of the Blu-rays because they're expensive. They're Blu-rays are very fucking expensive. I never got to finish my collection for season 2 and season 3. And I never got to finish those, unfortunately. And I don't want to buy them right now because I don't want to get fucking tariffed. I don't need that shit right now. So yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff I got. Now I don't know what to upload to Patreon anymore because I'm pretty much doing all the stuff I wanted to on Patreon here. So I think that should be it for the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was fun. Every time I pitched an idea, nobody said anything or suggested if it was a good idea or not. Fem, please. Anyhow, yeah. Look forward to a few more things. I hope you all have a great morning. If you have anything else to say, do comment on the bottom of the stream. Let me know. If you liked this stream, please subscribe, like button, the bell icon, the uploads. You probably already did that shit, you know. If you're watching this, you probably already did that shit. But for anyone who might catch on to this later, that would be very much appreciated. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.